Let's start out first of all by showing you the CAD support palette. The pipe support modeler palette right here is, as you see, the sample PSI is one supplied with CADWorx themselves. You can get this palette up by going to the right here in the palette pipe support modeler off the toolbar, or you can pick it up off of the plant palettes pipe support modeler right there. That'll initiate this palette right here. This is where you'll control what and where you'll insert a particular pipe support. I want to start off by explaining a couple things. Let's explain right here the PSA file. The PSA stands for Pipe Support Assemblies. Now, the pipe support assemblies are where you store your configuration for all the pipe support you'll use on a project. This sample PSI is, for example, a list of pipe supports that are available to you through this one registered file. Here's one I've made up for the conference. You see I've added a few more pipe supports to it. This particular file is based like our Imperial CFG file. They retain and keep hold of, and you can transfer this around. Now myself, I like to keep these into the one particular directory that holds all of the pipe support models. But for right now, let's just explain what they are. Explain what the pipe support assembly is, and let's go down here to U-bolt. A U-bolt, you see this particular file which says SUP. The SUP is the actual support file, the dynamic data information, or the data file, if you will, that will allow you to select this U-bolt and put in the right size. I'm going to select it, and I want to show you the modified just real quickly to show you where these all come. Now I'll go over these buttons here a little more in detail in just a minute, but I'm just trying to show you right up front what files drive the program itself. As you can see, here's the U-bolt support file. Here's the name we give it, and the actual file itself. Now, all these files I'm talking about right now are located on your directory when installed from CADWorx in your C drive, CADWorx 2010, plant support. Now this particular directory is where, and let me get to it here, plant, pipe support. These are your particular files, your support and your PSA files. When you go to change or customize a file, these are the files you'll be changing. Now everything that is used inside the pipe support modeler palette needs to be put inside this one directory, the pipe support directory. Myself, I keep this pipe support directory out on my network so all my designers can have access to the one set of directories that we've customized, and they'll use them all for that one spot. You just have to redirect that in your Imperial CFG file. All right. Just to show you here, here's the PSA files. If I click on this, you can see what the file itself looks like. It has all the information that is coming down to hold your files together, basically. And then let's find the U-bolt support file here. Oop. So for the U-bolt support file, here's the data file itself. Here's where you make your correction, your modifications if you're going to change a length, width, or anything like that to a particular support file. And we'll get into that a little more. But that's just so you know basically which files you're going to be working with. And we'll be working with these files through the pipe support modeler palette. This right here. Okay, now, when you're looking at the models palette, the support modeler, you see several buttons down the left-hand side. One is new. This is for setting up a new PSA file. If I wanted to make a new file like this right here, that's all I'd have to do is come here and select new to pick a new one if I wasn't in there. I would give it a name and then what I wanted to call it, and then say it would be Project 1001. So whatever project this was, plant number 10, we just save it here and it would register it into our pipe support directory. Or we can take an existing one and save as and then just modify it. See here it puts it into that one particular directory. Now, basic functions. When we go to insert a particular pipe support, we will use this insert button and we'll insert them either as a multiple or single, a multiple, or just kind of like a freelance and put it in wherever we want to put it out in space before, on any pipe. We also have the option to detect steel and repeat the insert. And when we want to modify a support, we can come down here to regenerate it. If we've made a modification to the data file, we can replace it with another support, or we can do a spec change on it if we've changed spec on that particular line. Now the file functions right here are simply basically what they say. If you want to add a new pipe support file, you can add one here by going here. It brings up that one we had before. We will show you later on in the webinar how to access this and make changes. If you want to modify one, it brings up the, you have to pick it and then modify it. Brings up the same window. And then we can remove, copy, move up and down in the list, all that kind of thing. That basically is the support modeler palette and how it functions. Now, let's real quickly just go in and we'll just insert a U-bolt right here on this 3-inch line, and we'll show you how this basically works. Let me minimize the modeler palette. So here you can see that this 3-inch line right here. I will set continue for my line for the 6-inch size that's right there. So I'm starting with the 6-inch GH 1105 150-pound spec line. And I'm going to put this U-bolt right here. So I'll go to my palette. I'll select my U-bolt. Now you'll notice that I have the U-bolt data file underneath. Now let me explain one thing. These data files can be in different assemblies. If I go up here and show you the clevis rod hanger at the very top, you see there are a series of 3 support data files that come in, and that completes a complete assembly of that rod plate hanger. Right now, we will just use a single U-bolt, single support assembly data file, and we'll use a single insert and just say insert. I'm going to select the 3-inch part of this line to demonstrate to you that you don't need to reset the size or spec or anything else. I have a setting here that will let me pick optional U-bolts, and I will show you the setting in a minute on the support file. That will let me pick other settings other than the one. If you just select OK at this point, it will automatically pick the size that we want. Now you see down here at the bottom of my screen it specifies for the insert point. So I am going to pick nearest because I'm not too concerned about being accurate in this point in the seminar. If I come over to my isometric view, you can see that I can put it in any direction I want. I'm just going to pick the down. And I think my graphics are a little off here. They're not showing the whole U-bolt. But there's your U-bolt assigned to this particular piece of pipe. And if you click on that U-bolt, there's our long description, and our line number it's selected was the 3-inch. It gives us a tag and a length. Everything you expect to see in a bill of materials. Okay. That basically is how you insert a particular pipe support or to detect the steel. So I'm going to do a single right now and let it detect the steel, and I'm going to select this right over here, this 8-inch pipe. I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to go up here and scan down to where I can locate the U-bolt itself. And we will select this U-bolt one more time. U-bolt. You notice I'm just selecting the upper level of the assembly. And I'm going to say detect steel in a single. I'm going to select the pipe and say OK again. And I'm going to pick nearest. Now, with my hands off, I did this right. It should have detected the steel and put the U-bolt in, and it did. So I'm going to scan over here to this pipe, and I'm going to pick another pipe support function called the base L. And it's the pipe stanchion right here. And here's the pipe stanchion with a plate on the bottom. So I'm going to select, you notice that they're in a different color. That's because you select elbows and pipe as different support entities that you want to select. And you also select those entities differently when you go to customize a file. So we'll pick the elbow support. We'll say insert. I'm going to take the detect steel off. Uh-oh. Well, let's go back to the sample. Pipe support. We pick the pipe right here in the ISO view. There again, it's going to ask you for different sizes if you have those programmed in. I'm going to select OK. And for right now, I have drawn a midpoint line because I don't have any steel or anything to go to. This is a concrete base. And we let that stanchion get put in right there. All right, and if you look here in my view down in the lower left-hand corner, you can see that it put it in right on that elbow. And there again, if you double-click on this, it'll show you the line number it picked up. FL 917-150. If I click on my elbow right here, that'll show me it's FL 1917. So I did not have to reset anything at all. It automatically took them. I'm going to go over here and put a dummy leg in. And I'll show you up here in the upper left-hand side where that goes, right here. Same thing again. We're going to pick a elbow support. dummy leg. And we're going to insert on this pipe right here. And select. We'll come out over to here, put it in. Now you'll notice that the dummy leg, and I did this on purpose, that this dummy leg itself is awful thin. The reason being is because in the pipe support file that we selected, it's got a 1-inch diameter on it. Well, you know, we really didn't want to do that. So let's see if we can go over here. Go to dummy leg, insert. This time I'll pick the 6-inch. There we go. So see, it puts in the right size dummy leg that we were after. And there again, it also picks up the line number and the annotation that descriptions that you put in. Pipe shoe. Now I've drawn this piece of pipe approximately 4 inches off the top of steel, and we want to put a 4-inch shoe in it. I have already modified the pipe shoes to be exactly what I want them to be, a 4-inch by 12-inch long T-support shoe, but we will go and make a quick modification. So pipe shoes. Let's go to the original one here, and let's modify. Here's pipe shoe training that I had done or had modified before. We'll open that up, and here you can see on the 6 and 8-inch pipe shoes where I've modified them. I've taken the web height. The web height and the lengths, and made them what we were shooting for in the pipe supports. Let's look at this one. Here's a 6-inch and 8-inch pipe shoes. Look at the lengths, and they'll be totally off from what we'll want to do for this project. All right. We'll cancel out of here, and we'll pick a pipe shoe. We'll insert. All right. With the webinar here, it's a little slow. Let's pan up here and do it this way. Once again, pipe shoe, insert, pick the pipe. Once again, I'm just going to pick nearest. And it's going to ask me for the rotation since I didn't pick steel or anything. There we go. A little jumpy, but there you are. And that wasn't the one that I had modified, but there's your pipe shoe. You'll have to make these to be whatever you want them to be. We will try to do a multiple U-bolt insertion right here on this little instrument airline. Let me get in the plan view. And I'm going to start it. I got my views here. I'm going to start at the other end of the pipe in the plan view, and then on the opposite end I am going to end it with the other end of the pipe down here. So let's go here, go back to our modeler. We'll select multiple. I'll try to detect steel and see if it works. And we're going to select the U-bolts. But once again, this time I'll hit insert. And it's going to ask me to select a pipe. So in the plan view, I'm going to select the opposite end of the pipe here. Start point, I'm going to pick the nearest, because I'm not going to be too accurate at this point, about where I think that U-bolt should go. And then the end point, I'm going to go down here and just select, somewhere down here. All right. Now it's asking me for support spacing. I know these pipe supports are 10 feet. It's going to ask me for if I want to select a different length, which I can. And I'm going to say OK, because I'm not going to select anything different. Oh, it's going to ask me for the angle direction. So I'm going to get into this view and just pull it down. And that should, if I didn't forget anything, should put everything in on all those supports right there. There's the first support. There's second support. Third support, fourth support, and right on down the line. And there you have the multiple inserts. And you notice it going down, they're all there, and they all have the line number again. Okay. I'm going to insert this clevis hanger. I'm going to keep a detailed, I'm going to do a clevis hanger, and we're going to just do a single, and we're going to let it detect the steel. So I'm doing an insert. I'm going to pick this pipe right here. And we're going to say OK. And then up here, I'm going to pick the location. On that pipe. And just generically, I'm just going to pick it nearest on the center line of that pipe. About to there, which is good. So there's our beam support, or support beam. We'd probably increase this plate a little bit, but there's your clevis hanger. Now, let's say we didn't like that clevis hanger. Let's go here and let's change this to a V-bottom clevis hanger. We just simply hit the replace button, pick the hanger, hit enter, ask me if I want to replace it. We say yes. And there we are. And as you can see, it has replaced it. Let me change our view so that you can see through the pipe. So there's the new clevis hanger.